Vicious is a 2025 psychological horror film directed by Brian Bertino and stars Dakota Fanning. As far as the plot goes, Polly, portrayed by Fanning, is a woman in her early 30s whose life is stalled. A dead-end job, unfulfilled ambitions, vague guilt, and unresolved family tensions. One night, a mysterious older woman appears at her door carrying a black box. From that point onward, her life will never be the same again. Polly becomes part of a nightmare from which she cannot wake. The box gives her 3 simple yet ominous instructions. Place into the box something you need, something you hate, and something you love. She starts hearing voices. Her memories are darkly twisted, and the lines between the living and the dead are blurred. Polly must make increasingly extreme symbolic sacrifices under the watchful eye of unseen forces and the hourglass timer inside the box. Her survival depends on obeying rules she barely understands, and she must face internal as well as external threats. Polly is written and portrayed as a deeply flawed, vulnerable character. Fanning delivers a solid performance throughout. You can sense her fear, dread, confusion, and vulnerability. The script gives her the chance to show panic, desperation, fear, and hesitation. The film forces her to confront the struggles in her life. Although her performance is undoubtedly good, the script doesn't give her character a sufficient backstory. You cannot always see her motivation, so at times, it feels like decisions are made only to serve the plot. Overall, Polly is well portrayed and interesting, but the script doesn't always give her the arc she deserves. The principal antagonist isn't a typical monster. Instead, it's the mysterious box and the older woman who delivers it, played by Catherine Hunter. The older woman comes across as eerie, and her lines and delivery are ominous and chilling, and at first she appears to be the antagonist. But later, we discover she is merely a pawn. The real antagonist is what the box unleashes. In the film, there is a lot of ambiguity, which does create a sense of unease and confusion. This counts as a benefit. But by the end of the film, there is still so much left unexplained. The rules of the task and the box as a whole are never properly explained, nor is the meaning of it all. We never get an inkling of an idea of why the box has these powers, how it got these powers, or who the ones inflicting this trauma may be. As for performances, Fanning carries the entire film almost single-handedly. Despite the script, viewers are rooting for her to succeed. The script demands a lot from Fanning, and she more than delivers. But not even her performance can elevate the film to where it could have been. Catherine Hunter, as the mysterious visitor, brings theatrical menace and oddity. Her presence is memorable, though brief. The film starts with a troubled young woman and transitions into the supernatural setup when the box arrives, then moves into escalating psychological horror. The initial premise is crisp and provocative. In horror, you have to have clear rules or rituals. The rules of Vicious are presented, but you never find out anything about the mysterious box. You never find out where it truly originates or how it can do the things that it can do. Vicious, unfortunately, suffer from a dip during the second act. The ending is hopeful for the character of Polly, showing that despite what you may go through in life, you can overcome, no matter how hard the task or situation may be. But the ending also shows that the cycle continues, and we never get to find out the mechanics of the box or its creators. Simply put, Vicious has a phenomenal concept and introduction, but fails in its execution. The 3-item trope forces the protagonist, and the audience, to interrogate what they truly value, what they reject, and what sustains them. The audience can imagine themselves in such a situation, and wonder what their 3 choices would be. The dialogue is minimalist, requiring a lot from Fanning, but she is equal to the task. Polly is physically and emotionally isolated. The film uses this to heighten dread. The supernatural elements blur memory, identity, and reality. The use of lighting, shadow, and camera movement, coupled with the sense of loneliness, helps create a sense of dread. The sound design and score also lean into psychological horror. It has slightly too many jump scares for my liking. Vicious is firmly in the supernatural psychological horror domain rather than slasher or monster horror. The premise of The Box with Rules is original enough to evoke curiosity and tension. Polly's own psyche and guilt are as much part of the horror as the external threat. The film provides some visceral moments of body horror, which heighten discomfort. The atmosphere and mood are strong. It builds dread through visions, reflections, distorted voices, and the sense of being watched or manipulated. Unfortunately, the jump scares and loud cues can feel cliché, and because the rules of the horror are unclear, some viewers may feel cheated. It doesn't deliver a clean monster or villain confrontation. Some horror fans might miss that more classic structure. The film seems to suggest that surviving the night and the box is less about conquering external evil and more about confronting internal darkness and choosing to live despite it. One view of the ending may be, if you face what you hate, know what you need, and cherish what you love, you might reclaim agency, but the price is high. The box remains at the end of the film, ready to cause trauma to another victim. This may show that no matter what circumstances you may have, you have to make some difficult decisions in life, endure, and in so doing, reach the end of your circumstances stronger, with the scars to prove it. So what's our final verdict? Vicious is an ambitious psychological horror film with a strong lead performance from Dakota Fanning, an intriguing premise, and moments of genuine unease. It excels when it leans into atmosphere, ambiguity, and the internal world of its protagonist. However, it falters in its structure, clarity of its mythos, pacing, and payoff. If you're a horror fan who appreciates mood and metaphor more than tidy resolutions, you'll find much to interest you here. If you prefer horror with clearly defined rules, big antagonists, or clean endings, you may find yourself frustrated. I believe Vicious to be worth a watch, especially for Fanning's performance, and for those who like psychological horror, but not among the genre's best. It's more interesting than consistently effective. If you enjoyed this review, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more movie reviews, including deep dives, breakdowns, and genre analyses.